right, and welcome to episode 11 of the Bye Friend podcast. This is story time. And just so you know, this will be the little caution for the episode. Okay, I don't want you to say, oh, Charles didn't warn me. I told you last week it's going to get wild. This week, it's going to get wild. So if this is too much for you, then I'll see you next week. And next week's episode is going to be called Relationships and Dating. So we'll talk about that. But for this episode, let's get started. So to be honest, all of this really kicked off because I had a girlfriend and she found one of my sex toys. You remember I said last week that I had two different sex dolls. One was a vagina and an anus. I don't want to say that. A butthole. Let's just go with that. Let's not. Yeah. And then the other was a butthole, but there were also balls attached to it. Now, yeah, I mulled over talking about this, but you know what? This is the event that happened that really made me go, you know what? I am who I am. There's nothing that can change this. It's been a wild journey. Charles, why don't you talk about it? And if you know me, I'm not a talker like that. I'm not, itching to do public speaking or just getting up in front of people for the most part. But from time to time, I can be pretty funny. And that's what this all feels like sometimes. One big fucking joke. But I know it's not. I don't know. I don't know what part of the simulation that this is just the version of me that likes a little too much. And because of this event happening, it really also made me want to go back and say, what happened in my life that really made me say, hey, I am bisexual. I do understand that I like more than one gender. And guess what? I'm still the same person. I'm going to help you out if I can. If I can. I'm fucking struggling. But if I can, Charles is always there to help. So I I will say, hearing some of my friends talk about gay people and it's rough. Some are just brutal about it. And you know what? It's all right. You have your right to your opinion. It's only when you start wanting to fucking throw bricks and spit and do all that shit to other people is when it becomes a problem. But you know what? Feel how you feel. This is how I feel. So, but yeah, so I went back and I looked at things and I remember one time, geez, this is wild. T- all right. So one time back, I don't know where we were, maybe somewhere. I don't know. Uh, I had a bully. I've had quite a few bullies. I'm short and fat. It never goes well for short and fat. So the bully, I don't know what happened, but he was like, "I'm gonna make you suck my dick," And I'm not lying. I was like, "Oh, oh yeah." And I would sometimes purposefully antagonize him. Yeah. Wow. I'm really talking about this right now. Yeah. This is a lot. This is a lot. So yeah, I purposefully tried to get him to make me, you know. All right. So yeah, that's and maybe honestly even younger than that. I just had feelings for different people here and there, but it was just like seconds of a feeling. I don't know. It was younger. You don't think about that kind of stuff when you're younger. You're just trying to live your life and enjoy the bugs and you know the adventures you go on, even through a fucking small field. Looks like you've been in that bitch for hours. So when you're young, you're not thinking about this stuff. So I really wasn't. This wasn't until puberty hit. Oh, did you hear that? Yeah, I think it's hitting again. But it wasn't until puberty hit when I really started really noticing feelings more. And when puberty hit, guess what else hit? The internet. So that did not help anything by any means. And by then, I was pretty fluent in computerese. You know, you know what I'm saying. I could do it. I could get myself around a computer. There was one point when I had gunked up the computer with so much porn that I got the virus off the computer, and that thing lasted for a while longer. Step by step, I removed a fucking virus from a computer. Pretty badass. And this is like early 2000s type of virus. So it could have been Napster, LimeWire, AOL. I don't know. Dude, if someone sent you a chat on AOL, you were clicking the link. I don't care who you are. You're typing in ASL, age, sex, location. People don't remember that stuff, but I'm getting old, so it is what it is, right? So before I get too sidetracked, I when I was younger, I found some pornographic videos that were hidden away uh, by a family member, and those were the first times. That's where it really all started. Now this was heterosexual porn, and like I said, I still liked that. It was really weird because it was Asian women and white men, and it kind of threw me off a little bit. But I was like, okay, whatever, because I'm black. So the family member who had it, I was like, okay, whatever, whatever it is. Uh, and for years, it was heterosexual porn. And then, honestly, that's the internet really. We got internet and uh, the tapes. They didn't become obsolete. The VHSs. That's what I'm saying. That's what I found. VHS. People probably are like, what is that? But they didn't become obsolete. I just had another outlet. So I was doubly devious. And then now you have access to the internet. And then you just go through and you're watching your hetero porn, and then the internet just opens up even deeper and further into its gullet. And then you stumble upon some twink porn, and it just brings those feelings back. And you're like, you know what? I've been looking at all this heterosexual porn for so long, I'm still here. But now, yeah, you got the twinks. And that's more my I like that. And now you got the hetero porn and you got the twink porn. And then a few years later, the internet just starts acting up again and you fall deeper. You fall deeper into the gullet of the internet. And now you're at the transsexual porn. And they're looking and you can't tell. And you didn't know right off the bat. You're scrolling through trying to find something to, beat your meat to. And then this just happens to get in there. And you're like, who is that? And you go to it and they got the weird angle so you can't see anything. And no, now you're halfway into it. You've been tugging for a little bit and now they swing the camera around and there's a dick. And you're like, fuck it. We're almost here. Let's just keep this party going. No, no harm, no foul. And that's where it's been quietly ever since. Now, I do remember this one time in college. I had a friend come over and I had some DVDs out. And this is when burning DVDs and CDs were the top thing to be doing. And I made a DVD with some gay porn on it. And I don't know what happened to it. But whatever, it is what it is. It's gone. That's years ago. But I did have it in uh, the DVD, the system, whatever system I had, probably an Xbox. And my friend went in to play a game while I was in the bathroom and came back out, and he was reading the titles, and they were all cut short, right? So the one that he saw, it was like two twins doing something, two twins making out or something crazy like that. But what it actually said, it cut some of the letters and shit short, abbreviated most of it. So twins was actually twinks. And he kept reading it and he's like, oh, okay, okay. And I was like, no. It was actually pretty shitty. Like I had to talk him out of starting it because, oh my goodness. But yeah, this is back in college. So I remember little things like that. Like I've said before, I don't like super masculine. That's not my thing. I like a little more feminine, that feminine touch. That works for me. Or a female, you know what I mean? But yeah, now that I'm really doing this and putting myself out there, dating is going to be a little difficult to say the least. But that's actually next week's episode. Dating and relationships. Like I said, get ready. Get ready. So but for me, it's that femininity. And then also again, I wasn't thinking about guys 24/7. Honestly, not at all. Just, here and there, you get on the internet and it takes you down rabbit holes and you go. You enjoy the ride and then when you get out, you're like, "Oh wow." You learn something new every time. Because during college and out of college, I had some girlfriends. I wasn't thinking about guys. Not like that. Not like even pursuing a relationship. It wasn't like I don't know how to get someone to understand if you like men and women. You can definitely I'm not this is some people, not all. Just like I've always said, some, not all can control themselves and not be wild animals and be in a committed monogamous relationship. I'm down for it. but it has to be the right person. People are a little weirded out about this. You're bisexual? Yes. It is what it is. I'm going to be there for you. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. And it would come in waves. Like I remember one point I got through to like the end of the second season of Glee on my own. This is when, man, I was, oh yeah, no, that I had a nice little place in the woods by myself. Like when I say I'm in the woods, to heat the house, I had to get wood from outside, bring that shit in. Now you're dealing with bugs. You're bringing all kinds of fucking bugs in, but you gotta heat that shit. I remember my one buddy came over one year for my birthday, and we cooked a whole meal on the wood stove, a pork tenderloin. We did some mashed potatoes and shit. I don't know, maybe I think asparagus. This was years ago. This was shit. This was probably 14, 15. No, probably about 13 years ago. Time's flying. That's what I'm saying. Time is flying. Now, the thing about all this is, yes, time is flying, but I'm glad I'm doing this now when I have a level head and I'm not just young and dumb and I get myself into some wild situations. I'm glad it's now. Cuz if I was younger, who knows where I would be right now. I could have been just filthy when I was younger. I don't know. I'm just so glad that I wasn't. I just rolled on with life and enjoyed it. And I didn't do anything crazy. But back to what I was saying earlier, I got into Glee quite a bit. I was singing and I wasn't dancing, but I was definitely singing and looking up the songs on YouTube and singing them when I was cleaning the house and this and that. And yeah. I was feeling a little sassy from time to time. Here's a little secret I have only told probably a handful of people, if that. In college, I worked at a restaurant and I was the manager. And I hired this guy as a manager. And one of the reasons was I thought he was cute as hell. There. I said it. This was years and years ago. And yeah, I don't even know if this the store or stores or whatever, if they're even there anymore. But yeah, I hired this guy, and one of the things was he was just so fucking cute. I was like, hell yeah. And then I found out he had a boyfriend afterwards. And I mean, he was a great manager, an amazing manager. But one of the my other deciding factor was because he was cute. So I never really told anybody that. But hey, this is story time, right? You're out of college now, and you're just doing your thing. It's all women, and it comes in waves. And then during the pandemic, you go and you buy a sex doll because you're thinking about doing an OnlyFans. And right as you're going to get it started, and the sex doll, it's a female sex doll. So this is where, now everything's starting to come together. So you get this female sex doll, and it was expensive. It was like $140. It was 32 pounds of ass and vagina. And I'm telling you, that thing was amazing. Uh, the vagina was good, but the butthole was deeper. I'm telling you, that thing, oh man. All right, I'm not, all right. let's take it back for a second. I told you it's going to be a wild episode. But it was really good. It was a good toy. And then I was like, I got a girlfriend, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna put the OnlyFans life on hold. I mean, I'd probably be on there right now, just going balls deep into this thing, and but I'm not. Maybe I should. Money's funny. Need a couple extra bucks. So now I get rid of this toy, and then I'm like, it's maybe a year, 2 years later, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go online, look for another toy, and now this one, I go online. It is $100 cheap. It's $40 for a male butt and balls. $100 difference? Sign me up. But when this toy was found and I was questioned about it, I could have lied. I could have said, "Oh, I'm just gonna cut the balls off." It was $100 cheaper. A butthole's a butthole. But I didn't. I was honest. I was truthful. Uh, and I, you know, I was in it to win it. And I mean, things were getting rocky. It is what it is. Life goes on. But yeah, people don't understand it and do not want to hear it. So that's fine. That's fine. So life goes on. And I broke up with her, and I've had some encounters with some males. All right, so here's where the story time is going to get wild. So this is your warning. This is your disclaimer. Shit's going to get nasty. So if the first part wasn't too crazy, this part is. So here's your warning. Thank you. So now I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to live my life and check some stuff out. So I get Grinder about a year later, and I'm like, all right, let's just check it out. Now, when I first got on it, it was overwhelming. Guys are disgusting. When they say they're pigs and dogs, yes, I know. I know. But I like to be a pig and a dog after I've known the person at least, for a little bit. These motherfuckers out here, they are just, hey, you want to meet up? You want to, what? What? Meet me in the park. Get out of here. Like, that is, but this is real life. You get on there as a black man, oh, they want that BBC. I'll tell you, they are straight to the point. No beating around the bush. They'll tell you. Now, here's the thing. I got a pretty decent hog on me. And I don't mind sending pics. But I haven't really, found anyone that's measured up. It's really wild. It's the wildest thing. And that's where I said earlier, I'm glad that I was just a little fat boy when I was younger. Because if I'd have known that I was swinging this fucking demon mace around, things would have been different. Things would have been wild. So I'm glad it's, slow and steady. That's what wins the race. I can't, whoa, did you hear that? Wow, 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 wow. It was like I was, wow, wow, wow. The blood flow, that's what's happening. I'm losing it. Losing consciousness, just trying to keep that. All right. Oh, man. But on there, they will send you pictures. They won't even tell you their name. They'll just send you straight butthole. And it's like it is. I have Tinder also. And it is not the same. Don't get any messages from women. But if you want an ego boost, you get on Grindr and you don't even you shit. You don't even have to put a picture up sometimes. You would just put whatever race you are and they would just form their own picture in their head and just they'll just send you something. It is the wildest. They're ready for whatever. Tinder, you swipe 100 times, you might get 3 out of 100. Grinder, if you are close enough to a person, listen, in the beginning, when I'm saying overwhelming, I would get messages. Hey, I'm at hotel room 212. The door's unlocked. Just come in, unload in me, and leave. And I'm like, what in the fuck? And I don't, you got to be careful because there's people out there that don't like this kind of stuff. So they're really ready and willing to hit you in the head with the closest thing that they have in their hands. So you got to be worried about that. You can't just be giving everybody your phone number. Definitely don't do that. Definitely not your address. Shit like that. But it's wild out there. The people are crazy. Now, so far, I've had a few experiences. The first one, the motherfucker would come over, we'd hang out, but I didn't understand the dynamic at the time of top and bottom. Now, this guy was a bottom, and he didn't want to ever be the little spoon. Like every once in a while, there wasn't we hung out for about a month. I'm still worried. I'm nervous. I'm scared. But, you know, he just wanted fucked. And I was there. No, I just met you. I need to know you a little bit, more than a couple weeks. But then, things didn't really go as he planned. I wasn't getting crazy enough. So didn't talk for ever. Hey, I'm gonna be safe. Safety first. And yeah, these motherfuckers just want sex. Let's see. There was a pickup and a JO and a jerk off. That was pretty weird. Pick someone up, go jerk it, and leave. That was pretty cool. That was actually pretty cool. Uh, I went to a birthday party one year for a good friend of mine, and he needed something from the store. I went out to the store with one of him and his wife's friends. So it was just us in the car, and got one of the best BJs ever. Like, amazing, amazing. And that was the first trans. I guess I guess I said that right. You don't ever want to offend anybody, but my thing is I'm always willing to fight, so let's do it. But yeah, back to that. The best BJ. And I would tell my friends when I came back, like if someone was like, "How was your weekend?" I'm like, "Listen, I got the best blowjob ever from this girl," but I never told him it was a guy, and doesn't matter, the best. And then this is where that happened. And a while later, some time later, uh, meet this Spanish guy, and nobody that I've talked to so far has been my type, but their personalities and attitudes have been amazing. And I'm cool with that. Like, when it comes down to it, Personality does a lot. Because I recently, I've met some new people in my life and just friends. And actually friends of friends, and their attitudes and how they conduct themselves, it's questionable. Surprised they haven't been hit in the face more than they probably haven't. You know what I'm saying? But the Spanish dude, he was taller than me. Don't see too many tall Spanish dudes at 5'10", 5'11". But it's always those tall ones that are the cuddliest. I'm telling you, just the fucking, and the hair. Oh, that's the hair you just want to just run your hands through all day. So I think that's been my move lately. Skinny Spanish, or just Spanish, you know. All right. Let's see. Did another JO session. This was the only person where their dick was even comparable to mine. We did the deed, jerking off, and then never spoke again. That was a fun time, but never heard from that motherfucker again. And again, I love sending dick pics, so I'll fucking I need to probably just capitalize on that and just start doing something, stacking donuts on it or fucking, I don't know. I got to start doing something. Get some extra dollar bills. So, yeah, these are the stories that got me to where I am right now. 11 episodes into a podcast of 22 episodes talking about going through and trying to understand being a bisexual black male and how life has changed and will continue to change, and how I'm going to say fuck it and fuck them and live my life to the fullest while leaving people the hell alone. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Wish people could just do that, right? Sounds simple. All right, I think I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for listening to Story Time. This was nerve-wracking. I put a lot of information out there. It is what it is. I'm going to live my life and have fun. So thank you again. Don't forget Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Check it out. I will definitely have all full episodes on YouTube at the Bi Friend Podcast on YouTube and wherever you podcast. Thank you again, and I will see you next Friday.